What is up, people? Welcome back to episode number 20 today of the My Player Career Mode. Of course, if you missed the previous episode, I recommend you guys go back and watch it. If you don't know what happened, I'm going to basically give you guys a quick rundown. But if you do want to watch it, please go back and catch that episode. So, as you know from the last episode, Ben joined up with his teammates at Spurs, had a bit of a rocky start to his Premier League campaign, although he picked up in the Europa League qualifier that we played with him and also in the Cup as well. So he did pretty well in those two, but he needs to improve in his Premier League performances today. That's going to be the aim for him. So thank you all for your support as well on the last episode. I really appreciate it. It was a massive episode for Ben, of course, and for the series. And I have got a lot of stuff planned still to come. But of course, guys, you'll have to wait and see what's coming up. But thank you as well, as I say, for your incredible support. There were lots of nice comments on it, and I really do appreciate it. So as we kickstart today's episode off, guys, we've got 4 games to come today, and it is going to be a jam-packed episode worth of gameplay. We even have some European Championship qualifiers with England in here. So yeah, we've got a few different competitions going on here with Ben. So as the two teams came out for game number 1, it was Newcastle taking on Spurs, of course. And it was actually over at Newcastle. So this one was going to be an interesting one because for atmosphere's sake and stuff, Ben not having the greatest performances in the world in the Premier League, Janssen again for some reason picked over Harry Kane. Seems to be a recurring theme here at Spurs. I don't understand why. You know, you're basically negating our best striker at the club and putting Janssen in his place. So I suppose it is what it is. But 17 minutes into this one here, Ben finds himself into the area, gets the cross, back across goal, and somehow Spurs take the lead inside the first 18 minutes of this one. And it is finally Ben's first goal contribution in the Premier League. He's got himself an assist. You have to say, though, this was basically done by Sissoko himself. It was a massive job for him to try and even get the header goalwards, and somehow he scores it. You can see from the cross, he's still got a lot of work to do here, Sissoko. 2 players in between, or he's in between 2 players, sorry, and somehow he comes out on top, wins the header, and heads it past, I think that's Tim Krul in between the sticks for Newcastle there. So yeah, Pochettino happy with that one. He sees his new Cam getting himself an assist, but also he sees Sissoko nodding home to make the score 1-0. So 1 Premier League goal for Sissoko, 1 Premier League assist for Ben. This is a better performance so far. And it continued for him because 38 minutes in, picks up the ball again on this left-hand side, a very similar position to the first one. Lovely play, gets across the face of goal, and there was Janssen this time meeting that header. But unfortunately for the boys, it comes back off the crossbar, so not a second assist for Ben there. That would have been great though, wouldn't it, if he could get that. But 46 minutes in, ball stolen back here, finds its way to Vincent Janssen. He waits, holds up the play, Wood continues his run through, feeds it off to him, and he finishes the move off as well. So just like that, in his first game here of today's episode, he's got himself a goal and an assist as well. And you have to say, credit Janssen. You know, I've been speaking about it just before we went into this one here, talking about why we've got Harry Kane on the bench, why is Vincent Janssen playing. But that was great hold-up play from Janssen. You know, he had 2 Newcastle defenders trying to work out what he was going to do. He didn't really give too much away, and then, of course, the busting run came from Ben, and he found him with a very nice through ball. So 2-0 up in the game, cruising, playing pretty well at the moment, and it should have been 3. Ben returning the favour again to Janssen. This time, though, Krul makes a save and does not require the crossbar on this occasion. So yeah, it was another good chance, but it was wasted from us in that perspective of it. Rodrigo now for Newcastle. Great ball towards the back post, and it is going to be the home side getting themselves on the score sheet. The man at the back does well, gets his header, directs it goalward, and that is now 2-1 with around about 28 minutes to play. So there's still time here for Newcastle to possibly upset some Spurs fans here if they can find a second one in this game. They didn't really play very well, but sometimes you don't really need to play very well and still get a result out of the game. You have to admit, though, that ball from Rodrigo was absolutely sensational. Straight towards the back post, and the angle on the header as well, it is acute as anything. But still, I don't know how Vaughan didn't save that. You saw his dive, his hands going the opposite way to where the ball was going. It's stupid, absolutely stupid. However, it is 2-1 now as Shaqiri will make his way onto the pitch. And then, guys, in the dying few minutes of this one, I say dying few minutes, there was actually a little bit of time left, 25 minutes, not too long after actually Newcastle pulled a goal back. It should have been 3-1. Ben rises highest, not known for his heading capabilities. However, he gets it goalwards, but it's the wrong side of the post and it goes wide of it. And again, another chance appearing. It was a lot of chances here for us. We needed to start taking these ones. I think at this stage, Jonas had come onto the pitch. He gets his strike away there after a nice pass from Ben, and it's a good save from Tim Krul. So again, He's preferring Jonas to Harry Kane. I just don't get it. He's preferring Jonas and Vincent Janssen to Harry Kane. Like, when I saw it, I was disappointed in the first episode, but I'm hoping this isn't going to be a recurring theme here for Spurs, because if it is going to be a situation where Harry Kane doesn't get played over Vincent Janssen and Jonas, that will be very disappointing. I was looking forward to like linking up, or looking forward for Ben to link up with Harry Kane and see how much of a partnership, you know, they could kind of get going. So it's a bit disappointing to see that. Let me know what you guys think. You know, can you like understand why Vincent Janssen and Jonas might be starting ahead of Harry Kane and Harry Kane starting in the cups and stuff? Or would you be starting Harry Kane? If it was me personally, I'd be starting Harry Kane every day of the week. But it's unfortunately not the case. So, after game one had been done, it ended up with a 2-1 win. Ben with a goal and an assist, of course, being part of both goals, gets him, I think, a man of the match performance. I'm pretty sure he did. He was then called up, as I said, to the England squad here. Wasn't playing in the first one against Romania. That fell to Dele Alli, actually, of course, formerly of Spurs. Effectively, who Ben has replaced here at Spurs. I don't know where actually Ali is. I really want to see, but I don't know how I can test and try and find out where Dele Alli is playing his football currently. So I do want to see, and I'm sure at some stage we might come up against him and we'll see then. But this game against Romania, guys, of course, it is an important one. It's a qualifier for the European Championships. 2-0 lead for England, 35th minute and 30th minute from Rashford and Ali before they did pull one back here, Romania. And then finally, Raheem Sterling makes sure of the victory in the 80th minute to stop any worries for the England faithful. They get the 3 points in the group stage, which is good. Want to start off with winning ways. And then it was Ben's turn to showcase what he can do for England. Of course, having a great World Cup previously alongside Dele Alli. This time he's in the side ahead of Dele Alli, which is strange because Harry Kane starts for England but doesn't start for Spurs. It doesn't make sense. Why? Why is Harry Kane starting for England and not starting for Spurs? I just don't get it. However, Norway the next opponents, and this one's going to be quite a tough one because in terms of teams I've played against in the past, Norway are one of those sides that it's a bit like Finland really, if you don't play well, they can actually cause upsets. So this is going to have to be a big performance from the lads. You can see Ben coming out there with the rest of the England boys, getting ready to take on Norway and hopefully pick up 2 wins from 2 in this international spell of these games here. Henderson again, captain in the side after his, let's say, not very good penalty in the shootout against Germany not so long ago. I mean, yeah, as a skipper, it was a bit disappointing penalty. The fact that he didn't even get it on target was the most disappointing bit about it. I would have, been less salty if it had got it on target and it had been saved rather than him just completely missing. But hey-ho, it happens. That is the Norway side on the screen. Odegaard in it, of course, the Real Madrid man. And that is the England side. So a very strong England side. There's quite a few as well. Spurs players, of course, in that England side. You've got Eric Dyer, Ben himself, and then you've got Harry Kane as well. So not too bad. But 31 minutes in, great ball through to Ben. Ghosting on this left-hand side. He should make the score 1-0, and he hits his effort towards the goalkeeper. It's a very good save, but truthfully, it wasn't a good finish from Ben. He has to do better with that one. Good one-handed stop there from the keeper. But it was a good run, actually, because he ghosted past the defenders, and they didn't actually realise where he was at that time. So, good stop. It is still 0-0 in the game as we move into the next highlight, guys. 39 minutes in, Ben picks it up quite far out, plays the ball off to Harry Kane. A nice pass through to Marcus Rashford. Rashford turns in the area, gets brought down, and that is a definite penalty kick to England. You can complain all you want, Norway, but that is a certain penalty kick. There's no doubt in my mind about it, and that is why the man has been yellow carded there. You can see Ben protesting with the referee, asking why it wasn't actually more there as he goes and pats Rashford on the back. Says, "Are you okay, mate?" And we will continue on and take this spot kick here. It's going to be Harry Kane stepping up to do the honours for us. And it was actually strange because it was just a total domination at that stage. 72% of possession to England. So they controlled the game, but it took 41 minutes to get ahead in it, and that was Harry Kane from the penalty spot. Make sure of the finish as well as he celebrates with his teammate and Ben, both, of course, internationally and club level, and Raheem Sterling as the rest of the boys get involved after that. The England fans loving it. It looks like it might be 2 from 2 if they can hold their nerve and defend well here and get at least a 1-0 win. It's a great penalty, actually, from Harry Kane. Top left of himself, of course, top right of the goal if you were facing it from the goalkeeper's way, but it's just a solid penalty. I don't think the keeper, if he'd have guessed right, would have got anywhere near that. So a solid penalty kick. It is 1-0 England. Let's see if they can kick on and get even more from this one. It's his first goal in European qualifiers here for Harry Kane, which is, as I say, it's just stupid. Why is he starting England games and not starting Spurs games? It's tilting me, guys. It really is. But 52 minutes now into the game. Norway looking for something out of this one. Ben wins it back, though, feeds it to Harry Kane, gets it straight back from Harry Kane. Lovely through ball. And this is just sensational. He is so composed in front of goal. And if that was Lionel Messi, people would be talking about that for ages. So I'm hoping people don't forget that goal in an instant from Ben, because that was truly brilliant. Keeps his nerve, keeps his composure, doesn't even actually lash at the shot, dinks the keeper instead of going for power. And that is just a lovely finish. You have to say, that's probably been one of Ben's nicest goals he's scored so far in his career, because it's not every day you score a goal like that. And as I said, if that had been Messi, people would be talking about that for ages. So let's see if it is Ben, if people are going to talk about it as long as Messi are. You know, I'm sure that goal there would have shown you why Spurs were willing to pay as much money as they did for him, because that was just an unbelievable, composed, clear finish. What a finish it was from him. But 70 minutes in, the pressure didn't come to an end here. England still looking to pile it on to the Norway squad, and it was Harry Kane grabbing himself his second of the day after a nice passing move from England. Gets him in behind, and he just simply passed it past the goalkeeper. Didn't even have to put power behind it, just went for placement, and that is why it's now England 3, Norway 0. So Harry Kane having an absolute stormer of a performance here, and to add to that, Ben scoring a wonderful, delightful little finish. So good day at the office for the Spurs lads. It was actually only Spurs scorers in this one so far. All 3 goals coming from Spurs players, 2 from Harry Kane, 1 from Ben, of course. So decent. It's a decent little run out for the Spurs boys here, and I'm sure Tottenham would have been watching. All smiles here if you're a fan of Spurs and you're watching this game. But 90 minutes on the clock. Norway 0, England 3. It is 2 victories from the first 2 games in the European Championship qualifiers for England. It's a great start to the group stage, and I'm sure they will be going through and possibly having a very good competition. We'll have to keep tabs on this England team, because they put up a really good fight in the World Cup against Germany, and I'm sure that's not the last we'll hear from them in terms of internationals. I'm sure they'll come back fighting within that European Championships and give it all they've got to try and win it. So yeah, good performance, good victory. I think the group actually, it's not a terribly difficult group. We've got Sweden, we've got Wales in there as well, Hungary, Romania. I think they're the other teams. So in terms of the actual group itself, you know, you look at that group and it should quite comfortably beat England, kind of topping it. You know, the only 2 I think that are going to give us the hardest games will probably be Wales and Sweden. So yeah, we still got to play those 2. I guess we'll see how they perform when we're against them. Of course, we'll be coming up against Gareth Bale, or Ben will be coming up against Gareth Bale, and he's taken over number 11 at Spurs. So that'll be interesting to see what he can do in that one. But away from internationals now, we're back to the Premier League, which is where Ben had to improve on, of course. And at the moment, Spurs 3 games in, 1-1, drawn 1, and lost 1. So room for improvement from Spurs, let's call it. And again, looked at the team. It was a very strong one, but no Harry Kane starting. It was Vincent Janssen again at the top for the Spurs faithful. And that was the Brighton side. It was a 4-4-1-1. And I don't know why, but Poulsen used to cause me so many problems when I was playing career mode in the past. So I was hoping that for Spurs' sake and for Ben's sake, he was going to have a poor game today. So Brighton coming over to Wembley, are they going to be able to step up their game in order to silence this Spurs side, I guess? So let's see how we could play in this one. 46 minutes was when the first chance presented itself, and it was Sissoko into Ben. Ben gets it off now into the to get it off to an area where he can strike it, and it's actually a good save from the keeper. The rebound comes back towards him, and he sends his volley goalwards, but again, the keeper with another good stop. And at this stage, Ben was playing with such confidence that you can bet your bottom dollar if he's in those positions, he's going to try and find the back of the net. He's just in that much form and in confidence after the goal against Norway that he's just playing exceptionally well. And 10 minutes from time here, guys, it looked like it was going to be a boring 0-0 draw. Ben again, though, picks it up, gets it towards the edge of the area, and another strike. That's 3 in a row now for him, but again, the keeper is equal to it. And as I said, time closing down now, you thought it was going to be another 0-0 draw, but Ben involved heavily in this one. Great play, gets towards the middle, and there is Heung-min Son to head the home side into the lead. 5 minutes to go in this game, guys. It was a great piece of play from Ben. He played a little 1-2 and then got into an area with that weaker right foot where he could try and cross it to Heung-min Son, of course, only with a 2-star weak foot, Ben. So this had to be an inch-perfect ball, and it was just that. And then question marks, I guess, about the defending, because it wasn't really much of a challenge from the Brighton man on Heung-min Son. But regardless, Son puts us in the lead, and there's only 5 minutes remaining in this game now. So surely, Spurs should be able to defend and pick up 3 points from the game, which is exactly what happened. It wasn't clean. It wasn't fantastic. You know, it wasn't a great performance from Spurs by any means. But the most important bit about it was that they got the 3 points on the board. So you can't really complain. You have to say 2 wins now from their first 4 games. It's not been the greatest start, but they're looking up. They've picked up 2 victories in the Premier League today so far in this episode. They're doing what they need to do in order to get points on the board as well. Harry Kane actually came off the bench in that one, so he did make an appearance, but I just don't know why he's not starting these games. And as I said, we played in the Europa League qualifier last episode, got through that one, so we are in the group stage now. And our group stage is Club Bruges, and I can't remember the other 2 teams. I apologise, guys. So for the next couple of episodes, it's going to be Ben playing Europa League football, then playing Premier League football, then playing Carabao Cup football, then playing international football. His, diary is just going to be jam-packed full of games. Let's hope he's fit enough and doesn't get injured in any of these ones, because that could be potentially career-threatening with how many games he's going to have going on in the next couple of weeks. So we'll see if he can handle it. So that is the group, actually. They've got Nice and Cork City. So French club, of course, in the form of Nice. They've got Cork, who I think is an Irish club. And then, of course, they've got Club Bruges, who is that Belgium, I think. So, I mean, the group itself, I'd like to say Spurs should be topping that every day of the week. You know, there's no kind of doubt in my mind that I think Spurs won't top that group. But they have to perform, and that's the most important bit about it. So as they're going into this one here again, Vincent Janssen starting over Harry Kane again. And that is one thing that you have to take into consideration. I understood it for the Premier League, because that has been happening. But when we played in the qualifiers for the Europa League, Harry Kane started those games. Whereas this time, it's gone over to Vincent Janssen as Fabinho gets the first chance of this one, 38 minutes into the game. Sends his effort wide of the post, and that was a massive opportunity for him to give Spurs the lead in this one, as Ben couldn't get it straight away, unfortunately, but he did have a good opportunity to do so. And then 73 minutes into this one at Wembley, Ben picks it up, plays the little 1-2 with his teammate, gets it back off them. First time through to Vincent Janssen. Janssen scores to make the score 1-0. So just as I've been criticising the fact that Janssen's starting over Harry Kane, maybe I'll have to shut my mouth, because you know what? There is what could be an important goal for this Europa League group stage, as Wood and all the rest of the lads run over to Pochettino and kind of dive at him, and they all have a little celebration in that one. But as I said, maybe I have to be quiet, because Janssen certainly silenced me there with that goal, because he gives us the lead with only 15 minutes to play in a game that was a very hotly contested, tight affair. Club Bruges defended quite well. They didn't really give too much up. They didn't really make many mistakes. They weren't great going forward, though, so we didn't really have to defend all that much, Spurs. It was more about us just trying to find a breakthrough in their goals, basically. So that's what we had to do, and thankfully for us, we did just that, as Vincent Janssen coming off, and I think it was Harry Kane to replace him. So Harry Kane going to get a 14-minute run out there, as the rest of the Spurs fans are loving it right now. But it wasn't all plain sailing. Club Bruges at that stage realised they had to do something to get themselves back in this, and we were on all-out attack at this stage as well. One ball through, Ben tried to cut it off, couldn't quite get there. Luckily for Spurs, though, there was a man between the sticks who did make the save. 9 minutes remaining from time, and that was the way the game would end. So Ben comes away with another victory in the episode. That's 4 wins from 4 games for Ben today. 2 in the Premier League, 1 in the Europa League, and 1 for England. Sensational turnaround in terms of the Spurs performance from the last episode in the Premier League. Of course, drawing the game and losing one. They won both of the games they had to play today. And again, Ben was involved in all of the goals that they scored in the Premier League. The 2 goals in the earlier game against Newcastle, he was involved in both of them, got an assist and a goal. Then he played in the game against Brighton and got the assist for the winning goal in that one. So you have to say, has Ben been the standout performer in today's episode? You know, has he been the man of the episode, let's call it? So great performances nonetheless. He's done his job today. He's got the points on the board. Only played at a 7.6 there for Spurs, but that was understandable. You know, it was a very boring game. Not really too much going on. He did get the assist for the winning goal in that one as well. So he's been playing very, very well for Spurs at the moment. So that is going to be where we end today's episode off, guys. If you did enjoy it, a like for it would be greatly appreciated. As always, guys, thank you so much for all of your continued support on the channel. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you all again at 6 p.m, hopefully tonight, guys. If not, 4 p.m. tomorrow. Catch you all then, guys. See you all. Bye.